To all the non-believers, 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 non-believers. I'm making non-believers say.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome to episode 48 of NBA Talk Playoff Edition. We got a couple of things to talk about here, but I'm gonna get straight to the point. Let's talk about the Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to never changing how they kept the momentum from how they played in Game 3. They didn't look discouraged. Giannis put the team on his back. He kept the ball moving. He made key plays. They came together defensively. The Milwaukee Bucks were just being them. They played the same way that they did in Game 3, and they took over the third quarter like they did in Game 3. They didn't look discouraged just because they were down at halftime. They kept it going. They kept the same momentum. They stuck together. They didn't get nervous about certain shots, even though some shots were questionable. Like Chris Middleton's shot selection was a bit questionable, but the Milwaukee Bucks stayed together, and Giannis was just overall dominant. Like he was just very dominant from start to finish. There was nothing the Celtics could do. I've been preaching that defense in Game 1 was not going to work for the rest of the series, and I've been right so far. That almost 4-man wall that they were trying to build to stop Giannis from getting to the free throw line was not going to work, and the shooters have just been clicking. The shooters in Milwaukee have just been clicking. George Hill's been a killer. Like, I'm a little disappointed in Eric Bledsoe, except from what I saw from him last night. But so far in the series, I gotta say one of the key players that's been taking over, especially in the third quarter, has been George Hill. When Giannis is not on the floor and George Hill comes in the third quarter, for some reason he just turns into a killer. He's making fast break threes. He's making spinning layups. He's getting key defensive plays. It's like, I don't know what is it. George Hill just seems to fit perfectly on this team. And then you add Connaughton, who's been a very great rebounder and a pretty good defender in this series, and a lights out 3-point shooter. And Middleton has been a very good defender on Kyrie. So, like I said, defensively they've been coming all together. And Brook Lopez, even though Brook Lopez hasn't really been good in this series from 3, but rebounding and defensive switching and communicating on defense is just what they've been doing. They don't lose composure on defense. Their shots might not fall for a moment, but they come together defensively. Their defense becomes their offense, and that's why they're the number 1 defensive team in basketball. But yeah, all credits to the Bucks. But on the other end, I said this since last year, and I'm not changing my mind. There's no excuses for the Boston Celtics. There's no excuses for the Boston Celtics for the way that they're playing. It's a joke. It is an absolute joke. It is. I don't believe what the hell I am seeing. But I've never seen a more dysfunction team than the Boston Celtics. Like, I just don't know who the hell do they think they are. Kyrie has literally been a no-show in this series. He's been a no-show. He has not played a factor in this series. He's supposed to be the reason that they win this series. A lot of people had money that Kyrie was going to be the reason that the Celtics win this series. Well, right now, Kyrie is going to make people lose a lot of freaking money because Kyrie has been nothing but Brick City. He's been nothing but Brick City since Game 2. Talks after Game 3 that you're not going to see another 7 for 22 night. Yeah, you're right, because we got an 8 for 22 night from you in Game 4. Like, Game 4, I've never seen Kyrie play more selfish in my entire life. Like, bro, what the hell was that? You did not trust your teammates for nothing in the world. Jason Tatum has been absolutely awful. Like, come on. That was the most atrocious thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And their three-point shooting has been god-awful. Gordon Hayward, I know he's coming back from an injury, but how long ago has he been coming back? And you telling me that in a pivotal game 4 that you have to win, you only get 2 points out of Gordon Hayward? 2 points? The only person I'm going to give a pass on the Boston Celtics is Marcus Smart, because he literally just came back from an injury. I'm not going to say nothing about Marcus Smart. But the rest of the team, you're not getting no passes. Brad Stevens, you're not getting a pass, because that was absolutely atrocious that you couldn't come up with a game plan to stop the Bucks in the third quarter. Like, I don't know what the hell the Celtics were thinking, that they think that they could just try to outshoot the Milwaukee Bucks. They thought that they could blow them out by shooting a shit ton of threes. I don't know what they were thinking. The only person that has been somewhat consistent in this series, and I'm saying on the offensive end, has maybe been Al Horford. He's been the most decent three-point shooter in this series for the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown, ever since you were pumping your chest in Game 3 when you dunked on Giannis, what have you done? What have you done? Everybody been saying that Jaylen Brown's supposed to be the next Kawhi Leonard. Well, excuse me, I'm still seeing Giannis putting up 39. I'm still seeing Giannis dominating on the boards. I'm still seeing Giannis dominating on defense, blocking Kyrie and Jason Tatum all over the damn place. I'm seeing Eric Bledsoe block Jason Tatum, reminding him that he's still a kid. This Boston Celtics team has been demoralized. They're done. This series is over. They're not winning Game 5. They're not winning Game 5. I'm saying it just like that. They're going to get smoked in Game 5 because the way that they looked with their heads down and could not communicate for nothing in the world, I just couldn't believe what I saw. I just couldn't believe what I saw. And you saw two different things. You saw two things you're seeing two things in this series with Milwaukee and Boston. You're seeing what it is to play like a team and have team chemistry and communicate on defense and communicate on offense and not look discouraged. And then you see what it is to play a dysfunctional game of basketball and try to outshoot a team with perimeter shots. And you're looking like who's to blame when Giannis goes off. I don't know. I'm not the Boston Celtics. I said it since last year that when LeBron leaves the Eastern Conference, you have no excuses. You have no excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about the officiating. I don't want to hear none of that bull. I don't want to hear none of that. You lost. You got your butt whooped. As a matter of fact, you got your ass kicked. You've been getting your ass kicked since Game 2. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Kyrie gets no passes. Brad Stevens gets no passes. I'm not even going to say Danny Ainge because Danny Ainge is just recovering from a heart attack. So I'm not even going to mention Danny Ainge. I'm not going to mention Marcus Smart because he had an oblique injury. So I'm not going to mention none of that. But my God, the rest of this team, like you've had all season to get your stuff together. You have had all season to try to develop some form of chemistry, and you have not gotten it down. And Milwaukee has been kicking your ass, and they're going to finish you guys in Game 5. And as a matter of fact, it's the medicine that you deserve. It's the medicine you deserve because right when Gordon Hayward gets back, you insert him into the starting lineup. Even though Stephen A. Smith has mentioned that, and he says that was what messed up. That's what messed up the season for them. I tried to overlook that because I was like, you know what, it can't be such a big deal putting one guy in the starting lineup. But apparently, he's proven me wrong. He proved me wrong. He proved me wrong because their chemistry has not been there. They have nights where they could look like they're the best team in basketball, but then they have other nights where they just look like they don't know how to play together. And more likely, they don't know how to play together. And If I'm Terry Rozier, I can't wait for Kyrie to get the hell out of here. I can't wait for Kyrie to get the hell out of here because I think Terry Rozier would be more suited as a starting point guard than Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving, he's not a passing point guard. What I have seen from Kyrie Irving is the most selfish brand of his own game of basketball is just beyond me. And to call yourself a genius and to call yourself a genius and then come out the way you've been playing, it just makes you look ridiculous. It makes you look ridiculous. But yeah, if I keep going at this, I could go off about the Boston Celtics all day long. But I want to get on to the second game, and that's the Golden State Warriors against the Houston Rockets. And this was a competitive game. This was a competitive game. A little not as so as Game 3, but the Houston Rockets came out a lot more aggressive following the momentum of Game 3. They came out with a little more poise. They came out with a little more pep in their step, or if you want to call it that. James Harden was looking like a bad man. James Harden was looking like a bad man. And Kevin Durant, KD being KD. He started out a little bit slow, but then he came through a little bit later. KD's going to get his numbers. But Steph and Klay, they were struggling throughout this whole damn game. I don't care if Steph had 2 more points, if it was a 2-point difference from Game 3. I really don't care. Steph and Klay have not been there. They have not shown up. Houston has been playing a physical form of defense on them, and they were missing shots. They were flat out missing shots. They turned a 3-point shooting team into a 2-point shooting team. And damn it, Draymond thought he was a point guard last night because he was running at full speed, trying to make quick layups to try to make this game into a shootout. And when he missed that last layup, I think he was saying, this is why I'm not meant to be a point guard. This is why I'm not a point guard. Because I don't know what Draymond was doing, to tell you the truth. Andre Iguodala, I knew he was going to fall back down to earth because he is not a lights-out 3-point shooter. I knew Andre Iguodala was going to fall back down to earth. And James Harden just straight picked them apart. James Harden picked apart the Golden State Warriors. He finally got a 4-point play after getting hit by Klay Thompson at the 3-point line. Like, Chris Paul at the same time, he was the floor general. He had Golden State running around in circles, and he was basically the floor general and the savant that he is at passing the ball, finding Austin Rivers and finding Eric Gordon, who Eric Gordon has been playing excellent in this series. He might not have, the numbers might not show it, but what I'm seeing from Eric Gordon, he is playing excellent in this series. PJ Tucker is doing all the little things that's keeping the Rockets in this series. He is dominating the boards. I would think that would be Clint Capella, but PJ Tucker has been dominating the boards. Like, he is killing them. And he guarding KD, and he was doing a pretty decent job at it in the first half. Like, well, I commend PJ Tucker for what he's doing. He is trying to guard Kevin Durant the best that he can, because I'm not saying that he's going to shut down KD. He's not. KD's going to tower over him. He's going to shoot over him any chance he gets. But commend PJ Tucker for what he's done. Commend the Rockets for how they've been taking away possessions from Kevin Durant last night. Chris Paul stripping the ball from KD on a fast break. PJ Tucker stripping the ball from him stripping it on ball from him in the first quarter. It's those little things that you take away possessions from the Warriors, and you are in a series. You got yourself a series. And James Harden attacking the paint. He's going to keep on with that mentality, and I expect the Rockets to carry this momentum into Game 5. Now, the Warriors have their backs against the wall. I don't care what anybody says. I really do not care. Kevin Durant can put up 40, and I will still think the Golden State Warriors are going to lose. Like, I've just seen it way too many times. Kevin Durant will have a big game, but if he doesn't get production from nobody else, then the Golden State Warriors are not going to win. Kevin Durant is a victim of his own scoring ability. And that's not saying Kevin Durant's not balling in this series. He's balling, but the rest of the team is not. James Harden, Chris Paul, Austin Rivers, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, the rest, these guys are starting to get the rhythm shooting, and the Splash Brothers have disappeared. The Splash Brothers have completely disappeared. But yeah, like I said, this is what happens when you have a series when you're not solely depending on referees and all this other stuff. I don't want to hear nothing about officials for the Warriors either. I really don't want to hear anything about officials in Game 4 of the Warriors and the Rockets. I don't want to hear nothing about that. My fine line is this. Kevin Durant and Steph Curry had two open looks. Kevin Durant especially had a wide open look at the top of the key, and he missed it. It happens. You miss shots. Like, it flat out happens. But the fact of the matter is, they got outplayed. They got out-rebounded. The Rockets were playing physical, and the Warriors look absolutely lazy. The Warriors look lazy. They look like they don't want to defend. Like, they think that they could just outscore everybody, and they think that they don't have to get defensive boards. I like the Rockets' chances in this series. I like their chances. James Harden is starting to shut me up a little bit. He has had two key games where he has had to step up, and he's stepping up. Like I said, the Warriors now have their backs against the wall. I expect the Rockets to carry on some of this momentum going into the Oracle Arena, because they know damn well they could have easily taken Game 1 and got home court advantage. This could be a whole nother series if the Rockets would have won Game 1. So they're going to go in with that mindset, and they're saying, hey, we almost beat you in Game 1. And I'm pretty sure the way we're playing right now, we could beat you in Game 5. And best be damned if you think you're going to walk into Houston and try to win Game 6. So, like I said, this is a do-or-die game for the Golden State Warriors. And I would say for the Houston Rockets also. So it's do or die for both teams. This Game 5 is the most important game of the entire series. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Like, comment, subscribe if you like basketball content. This was your boy Jay Varsity, and I am out. Peace.
We got some non-believers out there.
Make believers out of non-believers. Make believers out the overseers.